All right, guys, back with might be my third video this week. I'm breaking records. Did a quick border run this morning. Managed to scoop some parts that we've been waiting for. Those are two of them. The biggest one. We might need a hand unloading this or a forklift. In the back of the truck. Ordered this in September, and I am very eager to unload it into what looks like where a small bomb went off. Maybe we'll even get it fitted onto the car today. So I'm going to shuffle some crap around here, try and get access into my door, see if we can get a front end on this car today, and then maybe we'll dive into what is in these two boxes as well. Yeah, we'll do that after. So let me move some shit around and we'll go from there. All right, so like the bad YouTuber I am, I had a buddy who thankfully came by. Trans Mam, I think, is his Instagram handle. Pretty cool guy. He's got a 4th gen Firebird. He's kind of, I think he's gender fluid, so it goes by Trans Mam. But anyways, thanks for the help today, Adam. I got carried away. No camera. Put it down, and this is what we got. This front end is badass. This is a Church Boys Racing front end. Number one issue. So this bar is going to have to get cut for sure. And the brackets obviously got to come up. I think what's going to have to happen is this is going to have to follow this and kind of tie in somehow, because I need about this much room for the bracket or for the blower. So that's going to have to get cut and moved. Headers fit pretty well. I haven't seen anyone running the Church Boys front end yet with fender wells. This motor is not exactly in its home just yet. I've got a ratchet holding the motor up, and I've got sunflower seeds holding the blower bracket up, but it's coming along pretty well. Lots of space on this side. I've got a couple boxes left. That's a Church Boys box. This one, I believe this is going to be the inner liners. There's probably a sway bar in here somewhere. A couple other boxes, control arms, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna have to open some stuff up and see what we have in here, and we'll go from there. All right, I managed to open all the boxes to go over everything that I'm doing with the car, and I want to go over why I'm doing it. Minimal casualties, cut a couple boxes, a little bit of blood, but that's okay. So I'm going to start with why I'm doing it. We did put a rack on the stock front end, and unfortunately that did not work very well. I had all kinds of steering issues, cooked the front set of tires. Really hard on the front end, really hard on the front suspension, banged the ball joints out of it. And overall, it just did not work the way I was hoping it would. And I guess that's what happens when you try to cut corners. And instead of reinventing the wheel, I've decided I'm going to do it once, twice now, do it right, and just cut my losses with the stock front end. So I'm going to go over everything. And yeah, you guys are going to kind of see where it's going. And man, I really can't afford to do this again. So here's the Church Boys upper arms. Way nicer than the CPP stuff. All kinds of billet. It's got fancy heim joints. Really heavy duty. You can feel the quality is just way better. Also, I got to mention, Church Boys has done a fantastic job with boxing all this stuff. No boxes were blown out. Nothing's damaged in shipping. And considering how often I receive packages where the boxes are all falling apart, Church Boys has done a fantastic job. So I feel like that stuff people don't really acknowledge. They always look at the final product, but never how it gets to you. So these are the rails that will end up holding the fenders, and these are the inner liners. I don't have the heart to cut these up. I will not be able to use a lot of them if I keep them. I'd be able to keep maybe this much, but only on one side. So because the blower is going to end up in here somewhere. I have fender wells. This would all get hacked off. I still have to put my oil cooler back somewhere. I don't see a point in keeping these liners, or at least putting them on the car, just because they're way too beautiful, and I know that there'd be nothing left by the time I'm done with them to make them work. So probably gonna hang those on the shelf. Next, this Church Boys front sway bar, I believe it's 1 1/8 inch. fucking beefy. This car used to handle like garbage, hot garbage. And, you know, after doing Miles of Mayhem and realizing what I wanted out of the car and how I wanted to drive, that was why I went with the Church Boys stuff over something like a Smith Racecraft front end, which is what I was originally going to purchase. I just realized I wanted the car to handle and drive like a newer car over, you know, weighing less and being more of a drag-oriented car. And saying that, I got all kinds of Funkhauser parts for rear suspension. So this is going to relocate the leaf springs once again to redo some stuff that was done in the past. All kinds of goodies. The work on this stuff, the welding, the quality, once again, is top notch. That will look great on the car. New sliders. I can't even remember what I ordered anymore. I ordered this stuff 5 or 6 months ago. Yeah, all the stuff to redo the leaf spring relocation once again. And yeah, some stuff that I can maybe use to make a hitch out of to pull a trailer. Back to the Church Boys stuff again. So this is the modular front end. I'm pretty sure this front end is only like a year old now. They have not had it out a long time that I'm aware of. All this stuff is one unit minus the Funkhauser stuff. So it comes with a nice rack and all this stuff. Like I said, once again, the way they box it, the way that it's packaged, nothing is damaged. The crate or the pallet it came in on is great. Comes with Viking double adjustable front coilovers. Super fancy. This car is not worthy of billet anything. I used to have 50-50 front shocks on it for 3-ways. They worked, no doubt about it, but these are going to be an awesome upgrade. And not to mention the car is just going to ride a lot better. So that will be great. This is not Church Boys stuff, but this is another upgrade. So the car did have CPP disc brake conversion kit on it. It worked. There was nothing wrong with it. The car does have, and you guys won't be able to see, but it does have 4-piston Willwood rear brakes. So I thought I would step up my game, get rid of these guys, and put a matching set of 4-piston Willwoods on the front. So the car is going to handle great. It's going to stop great. It'll look pretty good. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it out. It will not be out this year. I just do not have the time or the money to have this car be back in one piece again. At least not this year. I don't know if I went over it in the last video. The car went roughly probably 1030s, 1040s, quarter mile, maybe 1050s, quarter mile when I had it together last year. It was only 8th mile racing, so 675 at 102 is what it did to the 8th. Probably works out to about 1040 quarter mile. The goal for the car, I want to drive it everywhere. I want to be able to drive it. I want to enjoy driving it. And I want it to go like hell. So intercooler will be in the works. I'm not sure, looking once again, how I'm going to fit an air-to-air in here. I'm thinking maybe I'll end up having to put a rad like this and an air-to-air like that. I don't know. We'll have to see once the fenders are on it and all the front suspension. Have to get the blower back on it and see just kind of what I'm left with for space. But the goal is to run 9s with it. I do not plan on putting a cage in it, but this stuff will certainly make the car a lot safer, and pretty well doing everything I can to make the car safe without putting actual safety equipment in it. And yeah, I think, you know, if I can run realistically 970s, 980s, that's kind of where I want to be at. It doesn't have to do it multiple times. It'll obviously be something that's non-sanctioned for an event, or a one hit and go home just due to the lack of safety equipment. So we'll see what happens in 2024. I did sell the converter for it the other day, so I do have to order another torque converter, which I think will also make a huge, it'll really help the car pick up some mile an hour in ET. I don't think the converter I had was really doing the car any favors. It was a little too tight. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really great to see it all come together. I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to do a little bit of assembly work perhaps before I head out and see if I can get at least one side with the control arms on and the coilovers. I don't quite remember where I left off. Been plucking away at this front end still. And wow. The fact that my car even has like billet parts on it, unbelievable. The fit and finish on this stuff I mean, I expected good, but it is top notch. Like you know, these things are built on a jig, and everything just fits perfect. Like these rails, they bolted right up. A little bit of finessing just because they're tight. Like it's perfect though. And like the arms, like this is insane. This is wicked quality stuff. These are just stock spindles. The guy that I was supposed to sell my front end stuff to, he was buying everything disc brake to disc brake, so I ended up buying new spindles for nothing. But this stuff is crazy. Like I can't believe how nice this stuff is. They even got the little arrow on there. It's hard to see, pointing to the front, you know, so you got side to side. Everything just fits so well. The only thing I got to do now is I just got to find the proper motor mounts, which is why this one's not bolted properly. Let me see here. Sure enough, I was looking for that ratchet, wondering where the hell it went so I could do something, and it's jammed between the motor and the frame rail. But wicked stuff. I'm super impressed. Got the rack I got to put on. Got to assemble the front wheel with brakes. Nice stuff. And everything is labeled properly. Like, you know, you got your bumper bolts, core support, miscellaneous bolts, shocks. It's crazy how nice all this stuff is and how fast, you know, it goes together, because they just, the way they label everything. I don't know if I showed you guys these or not, or did a very good job of showing you guys. That's where I'm going to drop the box and cost myself all kinds of money. Yeah, they're going to be hard to see, but in the box, double adjustable Viking coilovers. Give me 1 second here. Wicked stuff, you know, like the fact that they put all this together in a package for somebody takes all the guesswork out of it. You know exactly what you need to make their front end work. They have the D shaft in here. You make a new steering shaft, or egg joints or U joints. They even have one of these. This is for the firewall, just to it goes around the column. You know, it's just it's wicked stuff. It's a very complete kit, and there's nothing that I've been looking for. Everything is labeled properly, and yeah, they've done a fantastic job putting this together. So I'm gonna button everything up here. I'm going to put the quad away, move some stuff around. I got a lot of cleanup to do. Got stuff I got to do tonight, but hopefully everyone is excited. And yeah, this is wicked. I can't wait to put this together. Still not sure how I'm gonna end up putting an intercooler in here. This front end does give me a lot more space, but it's still really cramped. So I'm gonna have to get a rad back over here and see how that will fit, and then see what kind of room I'm left with for an intercooler. But I am thinking something's gonna have to be kind of staggered like this, and then an air to air maybe like that. We'll have to see what kind of room we're left with as things come together. But hopefully everyone has enjoyed the video, and sorry it's been kind of pieced together. It turns out it's very difficult to film while you're doing stuff, or to remember filming while you're doing stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.